It's your girl Raquel May David with my co-host David Sanchez.
Hello, everyone.
And we were meant to be. So we are here today to tell you all about the amazing, wonderful, magnificent tools that Dispute Panda, the world's most advanced and effective AI credit repair software out there. So give me 1 second. Let me move some things around. For all of you guys that have your camera on, thank you, because we need to vibe. Okay, it's a whole vibe over here. We're working together. But I am coming to you today. We're going to start right at about between 8:05 and 8:10. So right now, I'm going to open the floor if you guys have any questions, concerns, comments. Before we dive into the lesson, go through the system and talk about what we're getting into today, you can definitely do so. If you are not able to come off of mute, but you do have a question, concern, or comment, please go ahead and drop it in the chat, y'all. I have no problems reading it for you guys. Okay, there we go. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the room. Shout out to Melvin, Tom, Angelica. Hey, Melvin, do you have any questions, my love?
Not really. I mean, I kind of want to see how the process works because I was going to sign up with the software, but I had a couple other softwares that I was used to, and it just seemed a little bit not hard, but just different. So I just wanted to check it out and see before I start bringing my clients aboard because I got about 80 potential clients I want to bring on board, but I just want to make sure the software and the AI platform that we're going to use is going to be, user friendly for everybody.
I love that. I love that. So on tonight, Monday and Wednesdays are the standard Dispute Panda, which is the free platform. On Thursdays, we talk about the pro. I do highlight some of the things that come with the pro on today's call, but the goal is to sign up for the platform, go through what the platform gives you. We will load our first client and do our first round of disputes all together on the call. So you'll be able to see what it looks like. And I'll show you how to do it if you're importing clients over from another software, because I want you guys, again, to be a beast in these credit streets. And you can't do that if you don't have the right software. So we'll be able to cover all of that and do a walkthrough together on tonight. Any other questions, concerns, or comments? Has anyone in the room sent out any letters already and is familiar with the software and just have like some questions? Welcome, welcome to the room, Charles, Shagari, Jacob. Let's see. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, we're having an open forum right now. I think we're going to get started right at 8:05 because I want to respect everyone's time. I am Central Standard Time, so if you guys are Eastern, we're going to start at 9:05. Just to kind of give you a heads up, but I do want to give you guys the opportunity that if you have any questions, concerns, or comments, you can come off of mute or you can drop it in the chat. And it'll be my pleasure to read it. David has already dropped the Dispute Panda community in here. There are 2 ways for you to log in. You can create a username and password separately, or you can click log in with your Dispute Panda profile. Oh, that ain't it. Here we go. You can log in with your Dispute Panda profile, and then you are able to go ahead and see all of the wonderful conversation with the Dispute Panda team. You are also able to see the Dispute Panda upcoming events and any past events that we have, and you're also able to watch the replays on YouTube. So
I have a question.
sure, what questions do you have?
I don't know. I don't know if I should wait if we get a little bit later in the presentation, but within Dispute Panda and when you're doing the static letters, you can't edit. You can't like edit. Like if you add a message, on a specific account, that's not gonna print out, right?
Yes, if you add a message in a specific account on that screen where you have that message tab, that's what's going to print out with the letter. Now, I've
For the
been told that
static.
if you use the Supreme Boosted, it will still generate the regular letter and it will have the addition of what you have on there. Are you saying that it didn't print out the message that you wrote in there?
Yeah, for the static, for the static letter.
Oh, the
Not
static
the.
letter doesn't apply. Sorry, it only
Oh, okay,
applies with
okay.
the standard letter. So if you're wanting
Got
something
you.
additional with the static, you would have to write it and attach it yourself. Great question.
Got you. Okay, thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Any questions? If anyone was concerned about what the static is, I promise I will go over that because we are going to cover that as we go through the material. Jacob says, I'm looking to remove a 60-day late payment showing April of 2023 from myself and my father's credit. Identity IQ shows it on TransUnion only. I'm not familiar with Dispute Panda different attacks. How should I go about this? So there is a flow. We will cover the flow that's available. One of the things that I have always said before is there's a good faith letter in the static attack. And the good faith letter, you can go ahead and generate that letter and send it to the company, but also look up the CEO's email of that specific company and send that goodwill letter to them as well. Sometimes you'll be able to get it removed just off of the goodwill letter that's there. There are some other tactics you can utilize, but if we're talking system-wise, that would be one of the things that I have said before, and other people have used it and have been successful with getting the late payment taken off. Another thing you can do is request the payment history altogether. When you're going through debt validation, you can use a debt validation letter that's also in the static and get the payment history. And then if the payment history is not in alignment, then you'd be able to send that in and say, hey, this payment history is not there. But if you're looking for a systemic way to do it, if it's just a late payment, I would say to do a static letter for that particular below. Great question. But I will show you guys the flow. I will show you guys the attack. I will explain what the static letters are because I know everyone here is at a different phase and I want to make sure that we're all growing and going together. All right. I done ran my mouth past the time. My bad, y'all. All right. Well, thank you guys for coming in today. We are going to get started in the platform, and I like to start at the pricing. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to cover the pricing. We're going to cover training. We're going to cover contact. Then we're going to sign up for the actual platform. Once we sign up for the platform, we're going to go through all of the tabs that are inside of the platform. We're going to go over and we're going to talk about soft money that you can get, which is drip money. To me, it's money that you make without working hard, but working smarter. I will tell you how to do that within the system. And then we are going to load a client and process their work all on this one call. Okay. If you have any questions, you guys can raise your hands. You can come off of mute. This is a very interactive situation. And if you're unable to come off of mute because wherever you may be, drop the question in the chat. Either myself or David will make sure to answer. All right. So Dispute Panda is one of the very few systems that I have come across that actually has a free platform. So in essence, if you're looking to house your client's information plus generate letters, this system is free 99 to you every single month. The only thing that you are responsible for is the cost of the letters if your clients are using Smart Credit, Identity IQ, My Score IQ, then you are subject to a $17, per month per client processing fee for them to generate the letters. If your client, however, is using Credit Dyno, which is what we're going to be using tonight, that credit monitoring was designed for Dispute Panda. So the perk of having the credit monitoring of Credit Dyno is you get a free round of disputes every 35 days, which means you're not pulling your client's updated reports except for every 35 days. This works because, let me type in Credit Dyno. This works because when your clients are generating letters, you are sending the letters out to the credit bureau. Okay. You should on average allow 5 days for the letters to get there, 30 days for them to process the letter per the law, and then roughly 5 days for it to come back. So on a good average, the goal is for you not to pull an updated credit report, but every 35 days. So if you are following that sequence every 35 days, you will get a free round of attack using both the free plan and the paid plan. Now, the paid plan, we do have a promotion that's going on where it's $1 for 14 days, and then it's $197. You have a host of upgrades that are available, but it also turns it into an interactive software where you're able to go ahead and have your clients send messages to you. Your clients can do a safe client portal access. You can include your merchant service on the profile. So there are different things that you're able to do on the pro that you do not have access to on the free. Also on the pro, if you are using Credit Dyno and you have the pro, you're able to generate letters not just to the credit bureau, but to the creditors themselves directly. Okay, so there are a couple of features that I'll go ahead and show you guys once we get in, but think of this software as a warehouse. It's a very amazing software that generates the letters for you. And again, if you have no monthly overhead on the free platform, you still get the letters. And I'm going to show you today how to get the letters for free, right? Let's go back to the top. I'm not going to go over the pro and the training because some of those, the pro and the calculator, because that information's in the software and I want you guys to see it, but I wanted you to be aware of those options that we are going to look back at them momentarily. The the training. So I did see that Melvin said when he came on board, like he's new and he doesn't know how the system works. So a lot of times people click on this training and the first thing they do is go down to the videos. I would like you to do something just a tad bit different. As soon as you come to the training platform, the very first thing that you see at the top, it says free download. Click on the free download. It is going to tell you how to attack your client's profile. This is the most effective and efficient way of attacking the files based on what we heard the market needed. So one of the things that new credit repair personnel and owners were asking was like, when do I dispute with the secondary bureaus? How do I send letters to creditors? So this flow was created to answer those questions. When do I file a CFPB complaint? Can I do the letters without certifying them, right? So this flow is giving you non-certified letters without color, right? And telling you when you're going to send it to the secondary credit bureaus. That's what they call it, but it's other credit reporting agencies. So here's the thing. A lot of people know about TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, but a lot of people don't pay attention to the fact that there are other companies that, number one, are also owned by those companies, but are owned by other agencies that collect your information and feed that information to the actual big three bureaus. When that does take place, you need to challenge not just the credit bureau and their internal services, but you need to challenge the places that are also holding that information, such as LexisNexis, Innovis, LCI, Credco. A lot of people used to say SayStream, but SayStream and LexisNexis has merged. You have files, some people will have files with all of these secondary entities, and some of them will only have it with a few. When you are looking to help, whether your client has bankruptcy, repos, charge off, you have to make sure that you're looking at the file cohesively and on a holistic that side, not just looking at it from TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, right? So when you are getting started and you're like, before I dive into videos, I need you to come here and I need you to click on free download in the beginning, download the guide, and you're going to work the guide. Now, as you're going through, if you're like, wait a minute, I need some help, I have additional questions, this came back, what do I do? Y'all can definitely reach out to me. I will drop my link I will drop my booking link that you guys can book a call with me. If you like to talk about your profile, it'll be my pleasure to go ahead and help. But I wanted to go ahead and give you guys that information. So if we're going to hit start at the beginning, you're going to click on training, download free guide, and then go ahead and dive in to doing your client's flow. So if you are outsourcing, like I'm an outsourcer, if you are working on someone else's particular credit file and they are using Credit Dyno, you are outsourcing for them. You can literally work the same flow no matter the person has a repo, bankruptcy, charge off, right? You can work the flow and help them by following this guide. And then as you learn and grow and you track what you've been doing, you're able to know which letters you might want to put together and curate for yourself, because I use this guide, but I also have a free form tool that I use as well within the system of my own set of letters that I use because I've been using the system for a while, right? So as you guys start to use the system, you'll track, hopefully, what you've been doing and how the letters have been flowing. And that way it gives yourself a little bit more time and grace to know, okay, this vendor gets off with this round when I did this attack. And that way you can be a little bit more impactful when you're going to dispute for your clients, okay? So that is one. Let me go ahead and go back up to contacts. Okay, so our customer service team is here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. All the time. They're always here. If you have questions, concerns, or comments, I promise you guys, they're here to help. They want to make sure that any questions you have, you are able to go ahead and be a beast in these streets in real life because they want you to be successful, right? So with that being said, one of the tools that I normally drop at this time is loom.com, Loom.com. I'm going to drop it in the chat. Here's what's going on with Loom. Loom is a site that kind of copies, it's free. So let's talk about that, it's free. But it copies and it records your screen up to 5 minutes. So what you're able to do with Loom is you're able to come into the system, and if you're having a client problem or a client issue, you can literally record what the issue is, go ahead and copy the link, drop it in here, fill out this information, whether it's a document issue, a recording issue, or whatever it may be, you can drop it in here, and what they'll be able to do for you is the back office will be able to look at the video and you get an alert that the video has been watched. So you kind of have a time sense as to when someone will get back to you. Customer service is here 7 days a week, 24 hours a day to answer any questions that you may have, okay? If you have general questions, like you want to talk about the beta team, you want to be a part of the press, or you want partnership, you can drop the information in here and they'll be able to support and answer those questions for you, okay? Let's see. So that is the contact. Any questions on anything that I've covered so far before I sign up for the free platform? No questions? All right, cool. So signing up for the platform is really easy. What I'm going to tell you is I always recommend that everyone put themselves in the actual software. The reason that I say for you put yourself in the software so that you can have an idea of what it is that you're doing, what the letters look like, have a feel to be able to answer your clients in a clear way as to like what they should expect. If you are not able to kind of know the process, and I had an accountability partner, and one of her biggest things that she would do is she'd tell me that she's not going to get, or she's not going to pull her credit, she's not going to do anything because she knows her score is good, she's never been late. And I was like, right, but you have to look at the holistic portion of credit repair. So credit repair for me is not just getting your client the score. Credit repair for me is making sure that their report is clean. Credit repair is making sure that their report looks like someone wants to secure them. They want to give them funding, right? And how can I do that if there are errors on the report? So even if you have always paid your bill on time since Jesus was a baby, okay, still put yourself in the system, go ahead and pull your report, look and see if there's any errors, because 87% of credit reports have errors, right? Names, address, you have to remember that someone was typing the information in, or you may have pushed the wrong key. Anything could happen when you're loading stuff in. Now, if you're going to utilize the system for yourself, you have to remember to have 2 different emails. There's one email address that you're going to use for the owner of the account, and then there's another email address you're going to use as the user of the account. All right. So hold on 1 second. So let's say this is my business email address. I'm going to plug that in here. If you have a personal, that's fine. Just make sure you get a backup one so that you're able to work it. If you have a business name, you can put it here. If you don't, it'll automatically default to your first and last name. Once you have decided to transition into a business, you can go ahead and come back, and I will show you where you're able to do that to change the name, and you can also change the email address if you choose. Give me 1 second. Now, I personally like free things, discounts, updates, rewards. Pay me for being me, okay? So for that, I always check this box. You do not have to check the box, y'all. But I personally check the box because I love to know special offers and new rollouts that are coming in. And one of the things that I love about Dispute Panda is it is very much for the user. So as a user of the account, the more things that you tell the team, hey, I would like to see this, especially the more people that share it, is the likelihood that it's actually going to be handled, right? And it's going to be put into implementation. Now, it might take a little bit, but one of the updates that they did like within 3 to 4 months was giving us the ability to upload and update our scoring as to the increases that our clients have. And I'll show you guys that in a minute. But this right here is the service agreement. It tells you how to do business with Dispute Panda, what to expect from Dispute Panda, and what Dispute Panda expects from you. Okay. So once you finish that, you're going to hit accept and get started. And then this is the main dashboard. So this black bar that you see here is going to stay here because I cannot go in and verify my email. As y'all saw, I put a fake email address in here. So I can't verify it. You can still work through the system. What I will advise is that you want to validate your email within the first 24 to 48 hours. Okay. Just to kind of make sure that you are able to get into the account, the access, you verify who you are, you're good to go. Now, the main dashboard gives you some information. It gives you the rounds that for your clients. It gives you any missing documentation, any birthdays that are coming up. Also, remember I was saying we're going to talk about drip money and money that you can make silently. Well, if you click on this button, it takes you to the Dispute Panda referral agreement. You can sign up for this today, and once the program goes live, you will get your own affiliate link. With that affiliate link, you will receive credits for any person that signs up under your affiliate link. So if you're a realtor that knows realtors, you can just click simply the accept button. And then once the platform goes live, you will have your own affiliate code. And then when you go out to different speaking engagements or you go to different events, you have the ability to go ahead and connect with others that might want to come into the industry and want to have a low overhead. This tool and platform is amazing for them, right? If you want to upgrade to the Dispute Panda Pro, you can click here. But this is the one that I loved. So if you sign up for Credit Dyno affiliate, every time someone signs up for your credit monitoring, you have the ability to go ahead and make anywhere from $8 to $22, depending on the package you pick. At the lowest end, it's $8 that you're getting paid, right? One of the things that I like to explain is when it comes to the Credit Dyno, I love the fact that you can see the full 7-year report for your client. I love the fact that I get a free round of attack. So when I look at it, I don't have to pay $17 and I'm getting paid $8 for every person that signs up. So that means I'm ahead by 25 bucks. Okay. And the math be math. Okay. So that means instead of operating in the red, I am starting out ahead of the game if my client keeps this, right? So this is a no-brainer. One of the things that I post at the beginning of the month, the middle of the month, I'm actually going to post it today because tomorrow I'm going to be doing something. But I think I'm posting it today. Normally on the 30th of the month, I will post something that says, hey, I'm looking for 5 women to help them fix their credit. Read the caption. And then in the caption, I tell them that I can fix your credit for free. You just need to go ahead and sign up for credit monitoring. Those 5 people, I only take 5 people a month. They do have requirements and stipulations that they have to meet in order for it to be free, but it's a great way to get traction and to get people to sign up, because even if they don't sign up for your program, but they do go ahead and click the link to find out what their credit score is, I'm making $8 and I don't have to work hard, right? So that's a great way for you to get your money as well. Now, this is a report. This will populate with information as to what's going on with your profile, any accounts that are updated. It'll have that information for the month down here. If you're looking for your clients, you can go ahead and use this magnifying icon and type in. You do have to use 3 characters, or you can click on the client tab. If you click on the client tab, you're able to see active, inactive, and if you're importing from another system, you can import your clients from CSV. If you are having an issue, do not fret. You can send the CSV file to the back office. You just send them your information, or you click on the contact us and they will go ahead and transfer your clients over for you as needed. Okay, I'm gonna hit dismiss. And this is where you go to add a new client. We're gonna cover that a little bit more in a second. Let me go through the rest of the templates. The letters tab is a tab where you can see all the letters that have been generated for your clients. If you go ahead and click Panda Mail Guidelines, this is something that I love to cover during class. Number 1, letters go out every single day. The cutoff time for same day access is 12 p.m. PST time. Okay, so they're on the West Coast. Okay, that's what they're doing over there. If it's after 12 p.m. PST, it is not going to be processed until the next business day. Please note that the only time you can have certified or guaranteed, you have to go ahead and do certified mail. Otherwise, first class mail goes out just as if you were taking the envelope and you are going to go to the post office and hand it to the post office worker. You do not have to log into USPS. Under the letters tab, there will be an option right here. When you click on it, you can open it and you can see the tracks. You can click on USPS from the system here. So you don't have to have 2 things open. You can come here to get what you need. Question in the chat is, how can you see the replay? That is a great question. You can access this recording and you can access past information in the community by clicking on Dispute Panda Live. You can see the upcoming events, past events, and you can also visit our YouTube if you just click the link, and you'll be able to see all of the things that I have done and Dom has done throughout the process. So there's several ways that you can view all of our wonderful antics over here. So that's a great question, Jacob. So the process on the flow of the letters that are currently active. So Jacob's question is, which letters should or should not be certified or notarized? So the flow that is currently in the system right now does not require any of the letters to be notarized, does not require any of the letters to be certified. So you do not have to notarize them. If you choose to do so, that is definitely something you can do. However, it is not required based on the flow that we give you. Next question in the chat was, my pleasure, my love. Now, to answer your question, do I notarize my letters? I do, because I'm a notary, but you do not have to. That is something that I was doing prior to getting into the system. So it's just a habit that I have with my flow. Can you import from Experian Credit Monitoring? That is a great question. The answer is no. There are no systems that are currently compatible to deal with Experian, TransUnion, or Equifax. You have to go through a credit monitoring service. So either Credit Dyno, Identity IQ, MyScore IQ, those are the options that you have that you can leverage in order to connect to the software. So no software that I know of right now has accessibility to connect to just the Experian.com, because they do need to have all 3 credit reports. And with them, if you go to Experian.com, you have to download each one of those files. So just wanted to tell you that. So great questions. Okay, these questions are coming in hot. I like it. I like it. All right. If you have the Pro, you have the inbox where it's a safe, quiet portals access. They also can email you. So if they have a letter, if they get a notice, no matter what it is, you have the accessibility to go ahead and actually get this handled for your client in real time. And this is one of the benefits of the Pro. The reports tab is something that I am in love with. And I know I'm going to say that a lot, and it's really because I'm in love with a lot when it comes to this system. But this is what it looks like on the company level. So what it does is it tracks what you've been able to delete, what the increases have been, what total amount of debt you've been able to get out of, right? And then it also gives you a shareable social media option. Now, this was something that was spoken about when the product was first launched. Like, hey, I want to be able to brag about what I'm doing and showcase my improvements, but I'm not able to do that because the system didn't offer it. So the Pro offers you not just this on the actual corporate level, but it also offers you this option on the client level. So you're able to go ahead and use this information to actually get new clientele. And if y'all go on my social media, y'all will see I just dropped some numbers today on what I got. And I do videos on why the score drops. I do videos on why the score increases, because I need my clients to know, or my future clients to know, that this is going to be an exercise in both of us working together as a united front. I set that expectation in that stage, and this tool gives me the ability to do that. The subscription tab is where you can select payment plans. You can connect your merchant service. You can do onboarding forms. Like, it creates everything for you. Okay. The training tab, of course, takes you back to training, where you can click on the free download, because I know some new people came in the room. Y'all click on the training tab. Do not scroll down. Do not pass go. Click on free download so you can have your attack guide that comes with the system. So if you are brand new to credit repair, you don't know what to do, and you're like, where do I start? This is where you start. Okay. And then, of course, the contact us tab. Now, I'm going to click. There's two ways for you to get into the settings. You can either click on the three dots, or you can click on the box here that says balance. I'm going to start at the top just so we can go over everything. The top is your profile information. So this gives you information on the email address you have linked in, the phone number, all of the things. Okay, if you need to change your name because you got married or you got divorced, okay, or you in a situationship, you can go ahead and put it up there. Now, the organization tab is where you would go to go ahead and input your logo once you've decided that you're a company. If you guys are doing this as an individual, if you are already a company, this is where you go to put your information. I want to point out that on the free platform, no one has access to this. Once you go to the Pro option, anyone that signs into the Safe Client Access portal will have accessibility to see your logo. And I will show you guys what that looks like in a minute. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you saw it on the social media post, but hang on. So like right here would be where your logo is. And when you put your website information, it would be here. And when you put the phone number, it will show up there as well. So you're able to have all that information. It will be visible on the Pro. On the free version, it's just stored here until you guys upload it. But you can put your contract in here. So once you guys go to the Pro, you're able to send contracts out. You're able to send payment forms out, all of the things that people need to kind of dip and do. If anyone needs a contract, you know what? I ain't gonna ask. I'm just gonna drop it like it's hot. Hold on one second. I'm going to send a sample contract in the chat. So if anyone needs a contract to kind of get started on the basic level, there is one in there for you. And then you can go ahead and kind of dive in a little bit further based on your specific state guidelines. Okay. If you are like me and your daughter works for you, or you have a team, you can add team members onto the platform so that they have accessibility to everything. You do not have to give them your username and password. You can literally just create their information here, and they will get the email and they will be able to create their own username and password. If you have affiliate links with any of these credit monitoring sites, you can literally plug it in here. Once you have the Pro version, they will be able to select from all of them, or you can be like me and turn everything off and only give them the option of Credit Dino, okay? Because I like to operate with low overhead. In Jesus' name we pray. All right? So that's the option there. The disputing option is where you can go ahead and change the addresses to the credit bureau. So something I want to point out really quickly, right here when it says Punch of Fury and it says Supreme Boosted, these letters are going to be created specifically for these three credit bureaus, okay? The secondary bureaus, or the static attacks, is something that you'd have to go back in the system for to create for the secondary credit reporting agencies. And I'm going to show you that, guys, that once I go in, but I want to make sure that you're clear that the system, whether you have the credit dyno so that the rounds are free every 35 days, or you're paying that $17 because you're using the other 3 credit monitoring options, you automatically will get the letters for the main 3 bureaus, okay? If you want anything additional, then you have to jump to Pro in order to get it, or use the static letters, okay? You can go ahead and change the address if you're noticing that you're getting some return mail, because the credit bureaus have 7 to 15 different addresses. You can go ahead and come in here and change the address. It will then print differently on the actual letters that are coming out, okay? Let me go ahead and put this back. All right. Billing. I love billing. Billing gives you the ability for you to upgrade to Pro. You can go ahead and reload. So something that you may not know is the system will only take a minimum of $20, right? So if you're doing this for yourself and your husband, ideally, I would recommend that you sign up for the subscribe and save, because it will give you 50% more of what you're paying for, and it pulls it every 30 days. So if you have the credit dyno, which is going to give you the free round of attack, you can leave the money in there for the system to mail the letters out for you, right? So it depends on how you want to maneuver. I want to be clear that the system only gives you the $20 or the $60 option for the 50% bonus. So if you need to load more money onto the account, you have to come here and add it. And that money has to be loaded in order for it to generate or do any pulls for you, okay? Wanted to go ahead and tell you that. All right, invoicing. So this is where you can see your invoices, you can see statements for your clients, and you can see the Panda Pro invoice that you have to pay. The activity shows you any attacks that have been generated, any mailings that have gone out. So if you tell the system to mail it out, you'll be able to track it here. And you can see any credits that you have gotten for any clients that you've pulled their credit profile for, okay? The integration tool, again, it's a Pro feature. This is where, so for instance, I have an email sequence. If my client is coming on board for homeownership, there's a sequence of emails that go out that is specifically catering to homeownership. And that way I'm keeping them, in the loop, on track, on guide with what they need to do in order to be able to reach their goal, right? That's a pro tool. So with that email sequence, I have it set up through Zapier that whenever I load a client in here, it sends them to my email sequence based on the information that the client has put in on their onboarding form. If they say that they wanted a home, if they say they wanted a car, if it's a debt sequence, that email sequence is being selected, and my system, one system is talking to the other through the Zapier integration. So you're able to do that with the Pro. The referral option is what I showed you guys at the beginning, where you're able to go ahead and see all of the referral information available for anyone that wants to sign up. So if you guys haven't done it yet, that's your drip money. Don't miss out on it. So we have covered all of the tabs that are in the system, in the platform. Any questions on what we reviewed before I load my test client in? Any questions, guys? Welcome to the room, Mr. Wade, Keith, Oscar. Hey, Miss Clay. I missed you yesterday. Hey, Miss Clay. I hope your husband is good and the kids are great. It's summertime, y'all. So excited. Is it Kathia? If I said it wrong, please forgive me. But welcome, welcome, welcome to the room. Anyone has any questions, concerns, comments before I load the test client into the system?
I have one.
What questions you got, my love?
I'm on the verge of securing my first customer. I use myself as a guinea pig to starting out, but I'm scared as hell on getting that first customer signed up to get paid. How do I get his financial information? Or
So it depends. Do you have the Pro?
I do.
If you have the Pro, then you would go into the subscription tab. So hang on, let me open another. Give me a second. I'm going to open another window. All right. Can you see this? Can you guys see the screen okay? Yep. Okay, cool. So if you have the Pro, you would go under the subscription tab and you would have to connect your merchant service in the system. Once your merchant service is connected, you are able to create a payment form. You have to create a plan first, let's be clear. And that's basically how much are you going to charge monthly? Are you going to charge them an enrollment fee or I call it a first work fee? You have to kind of create that, right? And then you're able to create different forms and you can choose to send those forms out. You can also add those forms onto your site. It's completely up to you. But like this one is just a standard onboarding form. So this is like if I'm trying to just collect information, I can get their email, I can get their phone number. This one is for both onboarding as well as payment collection. So you would have to do that through the actual subscription tab.
Got it.
Okay, great question. And don't forget Pro Night is tomorrow. So if you have more questions, a little bit more intricate, let me know so I can go ahead and review those with you. Let me move this out the way. Minimize. Any other questions? Thanks, Miss Clay. Thank you, Jacob. I appreciate y'all help. You know, I wasn't looking at that chat. I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't looking at it. What's a good merchant service to bill? What is a good merchant service to bill them every month? I'm not understanding the question, Keith. Are you asking me what's a good merchant service company, or are you asking them what are you asking me what is a good fee to bill your client every month? I want to make sure. Okay. A good merchant service company, it depends. So I think we have so number one, the merchant service, it depends on the industry that you're in, right? As to whether or not they will take you. I'm with Proven, I think is who we have. Is that correct, David? I think it's Proven. We can drop that information. We'll grab it. I want to say it's the company is Proven, but there are several merchant service companies. One thing you have to know is that they look at if you're already in business, how much business revenue you're getting, how many chargebacks you have. That's why, y'all, I'm not playing. I am quick to refund somebody. If someone says, oh, I don't like something before I get a chargeback, your girl will, let me show you a video. Let me show you what it did. You had gotten the delivery of everything. The only thing I do not refund are digital products, because digital products, you get them right then and there. So you do not get a refund for my digital products. It says it when you purchase it. So if you purchase an ebook from me, a planner from me, heck, if you purchase my book from me, it's a no, ma'am, you're not getting no money back. However, if you purchase a course from me, a mentorship, and you say anything, I will refund you your money, because I would rather refund you the money than run the risk of losing my merchant service, because they take more if you have a lot of chargebacks, and they will shut you down because we're already in a quote unquote risky business. Okay. But Proven is the one that's here. Another company, oh, I don't even know if they're in process anymore. Another tip is to use your bank, like reach out to your actual bank and see if they will support you with merchant service with the company that you have, and see if they can offer different ones, because credit unions normally do give you a really good lower rate when it comes to merchant services and processing fees. Try again, this industry is not supported by Square. It is not supported by PayPal. So if you guys are utilizing that, quick tip, get up out of there, because they will hold your money. They will shut you down. Okay. All right. Great question. All right, y'all. Any other questions before we get started? I don't think Stripe does credit. Yeah, Stripe does not do credit repair. I've had Stripe. So let me tell you what's funny. I had Stripe for my digital products. And it was on my digital website. But of course, everything kind of linked together. So they ended up getting rid of me, y'all. They done got rid of me. So Stripe closed down my digital product side. And I was like, okay, I guess it is what it is. But Stripe and PayPal, they don't fool with us. I do know a Black-owned company that is coming out with a merchant service. Once it goes live, y'all, I will go ahead and drop their information, because they are going to be dealing with a lot of the high risk areas, and the fees are going to be low, and they don't have a 10% holding fee. So once I hear them go live, I will circle the block and give you guys that information. I'll actually come back in here. I'm not quite sure what you mean 24-hour methods or 2 weeks methods. Mr. Smith, I'm going to say no. The flow that we're giving you here is going to be a proven flow. Now, if you guys want to do 24-hour methods outside of this, that's completely fine if you guys want to get on the phone and talk to the credit bureaus. But on this call, we're just covering what's within the platform. Great question. Great question. All right. Anything else? Chaz, you had a question?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. All right, all right. All right, so now we're gonna load the client in. So as I stated before, we cannot use the same email address before because it will kick us out and say that it ain't gonna work, okay? So you have to switch the email around. You have to do something else to kind of get it going. Your phone number can stay the same. It's not gonna create a problem. You wanna make sure that you put the correct last four of the social in for your client. Now, when it comes to the address, y'all, I'm gonna say this. This information is going to be taken and put on the actual letters that are going to go to the clients. So if you have a unit, apartment number, whatever, make sure that the information is going in its respective line. If you have a different city, make sure the city goes in the city as well as the state, because we've had people do this before. The letters come out janky and everyone's upset. So I want to make sure that no one gets mad. Okay, it is fine. If you have the pro, you just click this button right here. It will send your client the invite. So if your contract's already in the system, if you have your billing information already set up, like literally everything will be pushed out to your client in real time for them to be able to leverage on their own. If you click this button and you do not have the pro, nothing's gonna happen, y'all. Nothing. Not Nathaniel Bartholomew Johnson. No. Okay. Now, proof of ID.
Raquel, could you share
Yep.
your screen so I can follow along?
My screen is being shared. You guys can't see my screen?
I can see it all right.
Okay. Chaz. Okay, Oscar said he can see. Smith said he can see. Are you on your phone or on a laptop?
Laptop.
Okay. Did you minimize us?
No, you're on the full screen.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing. Give me 1 second. And then I'm going to start sharing again, and maybe I'll pop up for you.
Yes, there you go.
Okay, so yeah, we were sharing. I'm not quite sure why you couldn't see me. Maybe we had minimized, but
Okay.
glad we're back on track.
Thanks.
So in the chat, oh, it's Marquis. All right, Marquis. Thanks. Correct me. Okay. Thank you, Miss Clay, for telling me you can see it, honey. But you know, sometimes technology be embarrassing us. Okay, y'all, it be acting up. So I like to cover this. David put it in the chat for you. So all of you guys that are at your computers, I need you guys to download this, click on it, save it to your computer. I actually have it on the wall for my daughter to see. So if she is taking a call or handling anything for me, she can have this conversation with the client as to what documents I need and what documents I do not need. You only are required to have two pieces of information, your proof of ID and your address, your proof of address. Anything else is optional, right? If the client's driver's license does not have their current address on it, I need you to go ahead and let them know, don't send me that driver's license, okay? You can send me your passport, your birth certificate, your 1099, your paycheck stub. Heck, you can send me your social security card. Do not send me that driver's license if it does not have your accurate current address on file, okay? Number two, if you are using a residential bill, gas bill, water bill, cable bill, anything residential, you are going to want to ask your client to update that bill every 60 to 90 days. Okay. The reason that you're going to want to do that is because the credit bureau likes to play games. They like to stall us out. And a big way that they can say that is if your identification documentation is out of date. So if the driver's license is canceled, it no work. It's no good. Don't use it. Okay. This is kind of what you guys need to look at. Have this with you so you can help your clients win while we are going through the process. Now, once you have the information, you can drag and drop, you can open file, whatever works for you. But what I want to point out is the goal is to get all of the pieces of identification on 2 sheets of paper maximum. All the information the credit bureau does not need, we are going to crop it out because guess what? It's none of their business. It's not. They need to see the date. They do not need to know that you're past due because we're already trying to let them know that our client has good payment history, but you're going to sit here, okay, and show them a past due bill. We're not going to do that. So we're going to crop out anything that is not necessary. You're going to crop and you're going to save. Question in the chat is there any way they check proof from bills? I'm not understanding the question, Mr. Smith. I'm sorry. Is there any way they check proof from your bills, etc.? If you can come off of mute and kind of dive into that question a little bit more, I'd love to answer it for you.
No, I'm saying, is there any way like say if you got an address on your bills or whatever, check proof, or like I remember back in the day, the cable bills or something, or they'll call or they're able to look it up online or something and see if that's actually your address and stuff like that.
No, they don't do none of that.
Sense. Okay.
They don't do any of that. They're not proofing the documentation that you're sending in. If you're sending in a driver's license with a bill that matches that driver's license. So the issue is the bill needs to be in the same name. So if that person doesn't have a water bill, doesn't have a light bill, but they do have a cell phone bill, then use a cell phone bill that's coming to that address. But no, there's not a proofing that's happening. Great question though.
Okay, appreciate that.
My pleasure, my pleasure. So once you've loaded everything in, this is what it should look like. It should look grayed out, kind of segmented, so that way nobody sees the business, okay? Once you've completed all of this on top, again, the Social Security card is optional if the ID and the bill matches. Now, again, I'm going to be signing up with Credit Dino. If you guys are not using Credit Dino, then that means you have to log into that platform every 35 days, update the credit report, and then come back here and either upload it or grab the HTML file and put it in the system, okay? If you are using Credit Dino, however, all you do is the one-click import. So every 35 days, you just come back into this platform, you click one-click import, and it updates the file for your client. Okay, hang on 1 second. And you see how there's a green button here that says one-click import. We're going to click on it. Boop. And look at that. It gives me one free round of attack. So I don't have to load anything in here to create any rounds. It says one free attack awarded per client, per month, every time there's a 3 bureau pull. So that means no matter what you do, you get the ability to get a free round of attack every 35 days. And you also make $8, okay? Before you can tell the system what to attack, you have to click on the Dispute tab. The Dispute tab is going to take you into the client's profile. There are going to be things that are going to automatically already be highlighted for your client. You do not have to work for it. You do not have to search. It's literally going to be pulled up to tell you what is impacting your client's profile, okay? Everything in red, it's already selected by the system. So as you can see here, it says 26 accounts. This is the account information that is already selecting. If your client had public records such as liens, judgments, or whatever, it would be located under the inquiry, but above the account tab. This client does not have that, okay? So when we're scrolling through the system and we're looking at it, we already see what's in error that is impacting our client in real time. We're going to focus on looking at that information for the client, okay? Is it necessary to upload your social? So that is a great question. It depends on the documentation that you're providing. So the question in the chat was, is it necessary to upload your Social Security card? If you have a valid driver's license and you have an accurate supporting document for proof of address, the Social Security card is not necessary. It is an option. Great question. All right. So the system is never going to generate and select your inquiries. It will show you your inquiries, but it's never going to select it at this present time because of the fact that it does not know if it's attached to an open and active card. So You can do Control F, you can do Command F, and then you can search by typing in the particular account if that account is open and active and it's a credit card. If it's a credit line, we do not touch it. Don't touch it, period. If that account, however, is not attached to an open and active account, then you are able to go ahead and select it. So in this particular case, we do know that we have the Citi card. She had several Citi cards. So we're not going to touch that particular account. Cap One, of course, we know is Capital One. So we can search it and see if there are any open and active Capital Ones. If there are, we are not touching it, right? So just to kind of give you an idea, that's what you want to do with the process. Personally, I do any inquiries that are not attached to an open and active credit card, period.com. Okay. Now, once you have completed this process, oh wait, before I go there, this little icon here says, although this account contains late payments, removing it could affect the client due to the amount of the late payment or the age of the account. So if you're like, wait, what does that mean? You can open by clicking on this eye icon and it will show you the information for the client, what their payment history is, things of that nature. Now, just a rule of thumb when it comes to student loans do not report as late until you've hit 90 days past due. So you can be 30, you could be 60. It's never going to report it on the credit report until it hits 90 days past due. Then it will start reporting the information on file. As you can see in this particular case for TransUnion, it shows that there is no past due that's showing up. Again, it's going all the way back to 2020. Most credit monitoring are only giving you 2 years. This is again going to go back as far as 7. But you see how Experian, it's showing in 2019 that there were late payments on the profile. So now the question is, should we go ahead and dispute this? So originally when the system was made, we did not have late payment verbiage in the software. Private student loans can still hit your credit after 30 days. So from my understanding, when I went to CreditCon, it was all student loans is normally not reported by within the first 60 days. However, I can do more research on it and I can come back. I'm not the student loan expert, but I do have one in my arsenal. So I will confirm and I will come to the YouTube video and I'll drop the comment there. Most of my people do not have private, so that's a great question. I will definitely check it out and I will circle the block and let you know. I will also put it in the community, Jacob, when I ask my person. As a matter of fact, let me ask them right now. Hold on. Please hold, because I believe in giving y'all the sauce in real time. Hold on now. Give me one.
That late payment I was asking about earlier, that's a private student loan that it seems like it's only showing up on TransUnion, that it was 60 days late, April of 2023, 30 days late of May 2023. That's the one I was trying to get removed from mine and my father's credit history.
Okay.
Now, if that wasn't allowed to be reported, that it was less than 90 days, that sounds like an even easier process to get it off our credit.
That is a great question. I just asked I have a business collaborative, and there's a person in there that does litigation for me and a person that does student loans. So I'm asking them right now. I do know that on the public end, it doesn't. Now, when it comes to late payments, are you guys can hear me okay? Because the storm just started over here. Y'all can hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome sauce. Okay. So before in the system, we did not have a late payment verbiage letter. So if you were to dispute this particular profile, let me finish. Okay. If you were to dispute this particular profile, and even if it's outside of the 24-month window that it's really calculating the numbers, you ran the risk of getting the whole entire thing removed. However, the system now has a designated late payment letter. So now when you select it, it will not give verbiage to delete and remove. It will give verbiage to update. Second thing to remember is that your credit score is calculated on a 24-month increment. Yes, you want to have aged accounts because that counts as 82% of your credit score makeup, right? But in reality, when we're looking at disputing the actual profile in its entirety, Our concern is what is impacting our client for the 24-month window. I just came from CreditCon, and I'm telling you right now, a lot of the creditors are looking at that 24-month behavior to say yes or no when it comes to giving your clients funding or approving them. So for instance, using this particular account as reference, I'm not necessarily going to be concerned about this particular account because it's not impacting them within the last 24 months. If my client is like, I want to attack all late payments, then yes, I will go ahead and select this option, but I would only select it for the ones that it applied for. So I'll select it for Experian because, as you can see, for TransUnion and Equifax, it is not having that issue. Also, another thing, depending on case law, if you guys write your own letters, you can leverage the fact that this is inaccurate because of the simple fact that you're 100% on one area, 100% on the other area, but you're not. Now, I want to clarify the reason why you're not 100% is because this is only going back to 2020, where Experian is taking it back to 2017, right? So kind of take those nuances, but this is also in violation of the guidelines as well, because for August, September, and October, there's nothing notated. It's not being reported as good or as bad. So I'm missing points there, right? It says no data. That's a problem. My client is missing points, but you have no problem dinging them in 2019 for March, April, and May. Get your life, right? So that's a way that you can definitely look at this. This one you can tell is a private loan. But as soon as she answers me back, I will let you guys know. Great question. So again, you can look at all this information with the client. I love to have conversations and dialogues about behaviors because number one, your payment history is 35% of your overall score. That means if you're missing out on up to 192.5 points, why? All you got to do is pay on time. Okay. You're not late until you're 30 days past due. If you cannot pay on time, let's talk about a strategic plan that we have of action to help you make sure that you don't have this happen again in the future. Because life's y'all. And we have to be aware and be able to have that clear dialogue with our client in real time, right? When we come to the account health, we're able to go ahead and see how is this person managing this account. So obviously, when they originally started, the balance was $35,000. The balance now is $29,000. While we are going through the package, right, and we're having a conversation, the utilization is very impactful, guys, right? Your client being able to have accessibility to funding or have the balance is necessary. They need to be able to use these cards and use them well. So if we're looking at their profile and they're over the limit, we need to educate them on how to get from being over the limit and bring them back down. What are you doing? How are you making the payments? Having your clients know that the statement date is way more important than the due date is a must, because your your available balance is worth 165 points roughly. Okay, so if you're hitting the trifecta, you're paying on time, you're keeping your utilization low, and your accounts have a good age to them, more than 7 or 10 years old, just those three factors, you're getting over 400 plus points, right? So you want to have that clear dialogue with them to be able to maneuver. I'm late to another Zoom. You said this would be on YouTube. Yep, it is on YouTube. You can go ahead and go to Dispute Panda and you'll be able to see my face and David's face. Okay, and sometimes Dominique's face on there. Have a safe time with your next Zoom, and thank you so much for coming in. My pleasure. If I have Identity IQ or My Score IQ, the $17.99 is charged how often? And Credit Dino, you still have to have credits after the first round of letters. So if you are using any other credit monitoring service, you are paying $17 per month per client. So if you are doing 3 rounds of attacks, if you're doing 6 rounds of attack every single month, because you're only supposed to be sending out your letters every 35 days, you would need to have the $17. It's not $17.99. It's just $17 for you to generate the letter. If you are using Credit Dino, every 35 days, when you update the credit report, you get a free round of attack, just like I got today when I pulled in. So you do not just get it the first time. Every 35 days that your client is paying for that credit monitoring with Credit Dyno, you have the accessibility to get a free round of attack every 35 days. Great question. All right. So now that I've done that for my client, I can now go into the attack mode. When we are going into the attack mode, you are able to go ahead, you're able to go ahead and pick the letter that is designated for that particular round. So think of attack as round. It's a round number. So attack 1, attack 2. It also gives you the days in between when you're supposed to pull. So this is day 1. You don't come back until day 35, right? If you're like me, I'm a 45 day company. I'm not pulling the next round of letters until day 40 to day 45. That way I have time to meet with my client. I can pull everything up. I know for sure I'm going to get my free round of attack, because if my client is with Credit Dyno and I pull them at day 33, I'm not getting a free round of attack. I'm paying $17 for that round. So the benefit of having Credit Dyno is you have to wait the 35 days and you get a free round of attack every single month. So it's not just one time, it's literally every single time. So the first round of disputes that are on the flow is the Punch of Fury Supreme Boosted. If you have the Pro, you are able to do creditor letters. If you do not have the Pro, don't fret. Just do the regular letters, okay? That's going to the 3 credit bureaus. You are then going to come back in and do the static letters to the secondary companies. You are going to select handwritten. CFPB complaints is not being filed at this time. The letter does not have to be in colored, and it's supposed to be single-sided, not double, okay? So now we're going to head over here. We are going to hit start round. We are going to go to Punch of Fury. We're going to click the handwritten button. If you guys have the Pro, you would simply click the generate creditor letters, and it will do all of the letters at one time, okay? You then go ahead and click Punch of Fury, Supreme Boosted. You're going to hit start round. You're going to type confirm. As you can see, guys, I don't have any money in my basket, but I do have 1 free round of attack, okay? So I would literally just hit start, and it is going to generate the letter for me, okay? Now, in order for you to do the static letters, you need to have at least $1 in your account. So you would come back in, because you've already selected what you wanted to be disputed. You're going to select static letters, handwritten. You're going to scroll down. Just for best practices, I scroll down because the system jumps and I just don't like that. So I scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you're going to select the accounts that apply to your client. Okay, boom, 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 boom. These are all of these secondary bureaus. If your client does not have a Credco account, if they do not have a Clarity account, no worries. The next go around that you do, you just don't select that option so you don't waste any ink, any paper, or any memory on your computer. You hit start round. If you have money, it will generate. Because I don't have money, it tells me I need to add at least $1 in order for the letter to generate. Now, at this phase, I can either click download and download the letters, or I can click mail out. If I select mail out, I'm going to switch this from double-sided to single. It's going to be first class, which is regular. If you want it certified, you just click the certified option. This is how much it's going to cost you to certify mail it, okay? Then you're going to go ahead, and you don't have to change the color, but this is the price that you would make if you're doing standard mail. This is the price you do if you're doing certified mail, okay? And then you just hit mail and pay. You'd have to do confirm. As long as the money is in the buckets, as long as the money is in your bank, you are able to go ahead and generate the letters without any issues, okay? If for some reason the money's not there, you just come out, you go ahead and add the funds, and you come back to the client, and then you can have the system mail it out for you. Whatever is easiest for you to do, all right? So we have literally just loaded a client, sent out the first round of letters, walked through the static attack, and now we're able to see the history of what's been completed. I can see when the credit report was downloaded. I can see their scores. Okay. And if they had invoices, I would be able to see it here. Notes is an option that's available for the pro. This is where I'll put stuff like the client doesn't have a secondary account with Microtel, or they don't have an account with Factor Trust, right? I can put that information in there. And that is literally it. We have literally worked the client from start to finish. And then if this was month 2 and I was coming back in the system, I would literally just, it's day 36, right? I'd come in the system, I'd click one-click import, and then I would do the same thing that I just did in month 1, but to whatever is now currently on the report. So we have literally loaded the client in, completed the first round of disputes, walked through the secondary bureau. What questions or concerns does anyone have today? Any questions?
I got a quick question. So I'm pretty new to this, pretty somewhat not that familiar, but somewhat familiar. So to try it out for like on the first, a friend's letting me practice on his credit report. To try it out with the first one, everything I need is on the basic version, right? Just as to see how it goes. And then
Correct.
is there anywhere in this dashboard or online portal where I could get a like a overview of what the static letters do? I did go through the training and saw all the other letters, but I think I missed the static letters ones.
The static letters are the letters that are going to the secondary bureau. So those are the letters. So they are basically the same verbiage that's going to the primary, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. And just for clarity, all of them are credit reporting agencies. You have a score with LexisNexis, you have a score with Innovis, like they all house your information as well. They're just not as well known or well used as TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. So LexisNexis houses everything from your arrest record, your driving record, your auto loan, repos, all of that stuff is there as well. So they are another credit reporting agency that houses your information also.
Okay, and last quick question. So I had actually done the CFPB reports on under his account. I see right here it says you don't need to. Does that make a difference, or should I just go ahead and leave that there? Or
it's not saying that you don't need to. It's stating that you should not file a CFPB complaint until you have done enough rounds of disputing. So if this is the first round and you're filing a CFPB complaint, you don't have substantial information for them to agree and approve whatever is happening. So more than likely that CFPB complaint will be denied because of the fact that there wasn't a dispute that happened first. So the system is telling you the order of doing it so that you have more movement and massive movement forward than just activities being done, if that makes sense. So my question would be, have you already disputed your friend's profile before you did the CFPB complaint?
Yeah, we were just getting a bunch of stall tactics saying that verify, blah, 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 this and that.
Gotcha. So let me clarify when we talk about stall, because in the, let me say this again. Give me 1 second. So if you guys go to the attack and you are getting stall, you can go to the static letters, scroll down, and there's a stall letter here. If you have the pro version, you're able to go ahead and upload the original dispute that you sent with this particular stall letter. You're going to put the date that you originally sent it. You're going to hit start and it will generate. If you have the pro, it will print out the stall letter with the actual dispute letters that you had. If you don't have the pro, you would just print this letter, reprint the actual dispute and send it together. That is if you are within a 14-day window. If it's outside of a 14-day window, then you're just going to go on with your next round of dispute. But that's a great question. Yeah. But if you said that you've disputed before and you have a couple of them under your belt, that's fine. But I also want to caution that sometimes right now Experian is sending out notifications for you to verify certain things. So if you guys get that email, please let your client know to complete it, that it's not necessarily a stall. But yeah, that's how you would answer that question. If you're having a stall issue, that's how you'd be able to do that as well.
Cool. Got it.
And you can use that stall letter, whether you are using Credit Dino, Identity IQ, Mom Pop IQ, it don't matter. That's all it works. I should have used Credit Dino, Identity IQ instead. Can I change it and still get the deal? You can, yeah, you can use it whenever you decide to switch over. So if you used your current round with Identity IQ, and then you cancel your Identity IQ, and next month you come in with Credit Dino, like within your 35 days, I would say, because you still want to allow that 35 days to go through, even if you're switching credit monitoring systems back and forth. But I would say just hold off until your next pull date and then go to Credit Dino. But y'all, don't miss out on the fact of signing up and becoming an affiliate. So you want to be an affiliate, and then as an affiliate, sign up so you can get your little $8, okay? Because them $8 be counting. I be getting a nice little $200, $300, $400. Like some $200, $300, $400. Any other questions? Any other questions? So you didn't miss out. You can still pull up to the block. I promise you will still be here. Let me see if there's any private questions that I missed. Doesn't look like I missed anything. All right, guys. If there are no other questions, I wanted to make sure that we came on here and we gave you guys all the information possible. If you have any questions, concerns, or comments, we are definitely here. Over here. We're definitely here Monday, Wednesday, and we will be here tomorrow as well to be able to support the pro people. I just am happy that you guys were able to stop in, ask questions, get the support, and I will make sure to come back in. Hey, peace, King. Thanks for coming in. I will go ahead and make sure to come back in to the YouTube and answer the question once my. Oh, wait, let me see if they answered the question. Hold on, because it looked like I had an act. Nope, they didn't answer the question. They just ignored me. All right. So if they do answer the question, I will go ahead and come back, and I will also do the research as well to let you know. It is my pleasure to be able to support, and my goal is to help you be a beast in these credit streets. Whether you have the pro or you have the free platform, please understand that this system to me is like really amazing. It allows me to have Metro 2. It allows me to have factual disputing. It allows me to do everything that I need to do in one specific place. And if you guys track what you're doing as you're growing, I promise you, you will see massive movement forward, as my girl Liz Simpson says. Other than that, thanks for coming in tonight, and I hope you guys have a great one.